we all process grief at different times and different speeds.
Yes.
So many people think, oh, it's a child. They'll be over it in a month. They'll feel much better. It may take years. You have to allow that time. And it
Yes.
may not should. They may be doing great. I remember when when my grandmother passed away, my daughter was 4 years old, and she got to know my grandmother, her great grandmother, because when my grandma got sick, my parents moved her up from Florida to Baltimore to live with them. So my daughter got to know her fairly well, even though she was little, 3 and 4. And when grandma passed away, I drove Lauren home. And somehow she must have just passed away or something because it was in the car that I told her. And I said, grandma's in heaven. And, when I said she's with grandpa, and like I gave this whole elaborate explanation to help her, I mean, age appropriately, to help her understand where grandma was and that grandma was okay, great grandma was okay. And she just kind of sat there and listened. And a child of that age at 4, you think, do they really get any of this? Are they absorbing anything I say? And it was so interesting because about 2 years later, Lauren brought up great grandma, and she almost to word reiterated exactly what I told her in that car that day. And I had never heard her speak of it since, before that. So it took
Mhm.
2 years, but she heard everything I said and remembered everything I said. So it's, don't feel like if they're just sitting there blankly, whatever age, it could be a teenager, that they're not hearing you. And
Right.
sometimes it's not even about you solving the problem, but you listening. They just need to talk and they need to have someone to listen to. And I say it again and again. The best communicators are the best listeners. So sometimes they just need someone to listen, not solve. And parents have a hard time doing that. They want to make everything all better.
Right. They'll fixers.
Right. Right. And sometimes you can't fix. You can't
Sometimes you
fix a
can't.
death.
Nope. And you can't fix how somebody else needs to process and grieve.
Exactly.
So we may not even be the best person that a child feels they can go to. So we need to understand that sometimes maybe it's another family member that they talk to, or
Or a
maybe,
therapist or a counselor
right,
or a teacher they're close to. I mean, some kids are very close to their teachers.
right,
Find their person or, or a clergy or someone that they trust that can help and advise them if you can. And don't, more than anything, don't take insult to the fact that your child may need to talk to somebody else.
right,
That emotional connection can make talking very difficult because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
right. And a lot of times, okay, let's say we're emotional people and they can tell that we are sad, as the
Right.
parents. They may not want to add to ours.
They
I
want to
mean,
protect us.
they want to
Exactly.
they want to protect us, but at the same time, I think it's okay for us to be authentic.